The second one is I wanted to take sometimes Max and I, actually, the reason why we decided to start a podcast in the first place was because we would just message each other ad nauseum about like the most random NBA things that were popping up into our mind. And Max raised a pretty good point that's been circling around, I think, just in common NBA discourse for the last few years about Embiid. And Max, would you care to kind of share a bit of what your perspective
Well,
was, if you recall?
this was like a very long, multiple pronged conversation, right?
Yes.
But my first thought, the way this started, and it's where the way I'll start this is like, damn, Embiid is going to make the Hall of Fame. There is a 100% chance that Joel Embiid makes the Hall of Fame.
No doubt.
And my first, the NBA Hall of Fame is a little oversaturated. Obviously, I already have issues with multiple guys being in there who I don't think should be in there. But that was my first thought, and this is a guy who's been an MVP, right? And so already that is a little damning, because Derrick Rose will be the first MVP to not make a Hall of Fame, right? But
Is that the
Embiid,
case?
yeah, I think
Whoa.
so. I think so, right?
Uh, I believe so, but go on.
Yeah. But like I feel like I can tell the story of the NBA still with like I feel like I need Derrick Rose to tell the story of the NBA. Don't know if you need Joel Embiid. So I think Joel Embiid, and then if you isolate that soundbite, by the way, I sound like a major hater. Then I started backtracking, and I think Joel Embiid's been a part of some major moments, especially in this era. Um, and he's won an MVP, and so like I'm like he should be in the Hall of Fame based off the standards, right? But that's just kind of my first thought. And then he's never made it out of the second round, and I know that's the easy point on him, right? But like Trey Young's
Yeah.
made like
Yeah.
you told me while we were having this conversation, like it's kind of crazy that Trey Young's been out on the second round, Tyrese Halliburton's been out on the second round. Jason Tatum was out of the second round when he was a rookie, like Luka Doncic went out of the second round. And then if you compare the rest of the teams that those players made the second round with, they are miles worse than some of these teams Embiid has had.
Hmm.
So yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
and it's tough because Embiid has a playoff loss against the Celtics early on, which I don't think he should have lost, but it's still against the Celtics. And he has the playoff loss against the Raptors. But he also has playoff losses against the Hawks. And but those are pretty damning moments. Anyways, that's just my initial thoughts. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we talked about like other big men that have made it to the conference finals. Like, I mean, Cat in like drafted around the same time. Cat, Gobert, Julius Randle. Wait, Julius Randle?
Yeah.
No.
Or did
Wait.
we?
No. Yeah, no, because he was on the Knicks and then he's
Oh
on
yeah.
Timberwolves. So no. So okay,
Yeah.
you're in company. You're in company. But I mean, obviously Jokic, Giannis, AD, all these guys have made it to the second round, or I mean the third round. And
Draymond.
you Draymond, yeah, yeah. I mean Pascal Siakam. I mean, like there's a lot of guys that I mean he has a chip too. But I mean he made it to this conference finals last year.
Yeah.
A lot of guys have made it further. And I think to your point, like in the season where the Celtics with rookie Jason Tatum went to the finals, we were underdogs against the Sixers in the second round, and we gentlemen swept them 3-0 and then one
No
in five.
No Hayward, no Kyrie.
Right, right, exactly. And then 2 seasons ago, they're up 3-2 and have a chance to close it out at home, game six, and they lose. And then they get wiped off the floor in game seven.
And I think that loss, I have a lot of thoughts about that loss. Like James Harden won you 2 games. He literally
Yeah,
won them two, and he was bad. He was bad in the rest of the series.
yeah.
But like Embiid missed the only like 3 games in that series, and I'm pretty sure they won 2 of them because of James Harden. And like, which is pretty crazy, by the way. Shout out James Harden. But like, yeah, I don't know. And this is the thing. Like, I think my first like reaction is like this is one of the most damning playoff resumes of like a star, and like I know that's like a very hateful message, but like and I really when Joel Embiid's performing, he's an amazing player to watch. So like I really don't want to come off like that. But just in
Hmm.
terms of like regular season slash pet like just general pedigree versus playoff output, it's like a huge gap. It's like a really big gap.
Hmm.
Um, and like the eye test isn't great in the regular season, and boy is it bad in the playoffs sometimes. So yeah,
When he's on in the regular season, I mean, last year at the beginning of the year, I said it like I thought he was the
yeah,
best player
yeah,
in the world. Like,
100%. I'm pretty
um,
sure we did we both pick him for MVP the season he won MVP? Pretty sure we did.
we might have. I'm not sure about
On the
that's a
spot.
good question.
On the spot.
Retroactively, I'll say we did. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
but
we did. I'm pretty sure we both like capitulated to the narrative, like in a good way. Like I think,
like it's time. Yeah,
yeah, I think we both felt that way by the end.
yeah, for sure.
Can't
Um,
remember.
but yeah, it's gonna be a tough. He's obviously a Hall of Famer. He's more of a Hall of Famer than Derrick Rose because his apex has been better. He has a higher points per game average. He's top 10 in points per game in NBA history for qualified players. Um, and when he's on, he's one of the most unstoppable players in the world, and arguably more talented than Jokic or Giannis, who are his two you and I guess you could throw AD in there. His three peers of this like big man era, right? In terms of like both offensive and pseudo defensive output, like a 1A player on their team.
Yeah, and I mean, he's averaging 23 points per game in his last two playoff campaigns before last year. And then obviously the year before that is the year they lose to the Hawks in seven, which he played well, but like the loss to the Hawks, I don't know. It's pretty quirky, especially and like on the talent thing, like you're saying, like you have Giannis who's amazing in the paint, can't shoot. You got Jokic who's not athletic, does everything right. You got AD, amazing defender, etc. And in theory, Embiid's got the talent to kind of synthesize a lot of these skills
All of
together.
that.
Yeah, like he truly does. And like in playoff series, you get a glimpse of it sometimes, but it's never always quite put together. And like for example, I want to go back to that playoff series against the Hawks. Like he got a 20. Tobias Harris and Seth Curry. Seth Curry scored 20 points per game for that whole playoff series
Wow. Combined or each?
each.
Wow.
So it's one of
Wow.
those
You
things.
you would
Yeah,
help.
like you had help, and I know we want to roast Ben Simmons, and like I get it because like it was a bad performance, but like you know that's tough. Like some of that stuff is pretty tough. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I will say, and like on the synthesizing the skills aspect, I mean, this is a guy who averaged like 6 assists a game last year, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Yes, he
Like
did.
he's really got third. There's times where I thought he should have been in closer in the defensive player of the year conversation, but right now it feels like he's running out of time. He was always a guy who's gonna age out poorly due to the injuries, but now it
Yeah.
feels like he's running out of time,
Oh,
or maybe has ran out
MVP.
of time. Like I don't know.
MVP, 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, 3-time All-Defensive, 2-time scoring champ. Do we think he's I mean, okay, so here's another question. Does he have a chance to make it out of the second round for the rest of his career?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this was, I think, our conversation. We had a conversation about this at the end of when we were discussing the Embiid stuff. I absolutely think he does. I think the Sixers are really well built. I think Paul George is a damning contract, but think Jared McCain's that good. I really think Jared McCain is that good. I think Tyrese Maxey is that good. But if Embiid gets out of the second round, will he be the best player on the team?
That might be the question instead. Can he be the best player to get them out in the second round? Because he is, how old is he? He's 30? Is he
Yeah,
30
30.
years old?
I think so. Flat.
Yeah, he's 30 right
Um,
now.
the thing is like maybe my take here is kind of shitty, but it's like if anyone gives you an answer confidently, they're probably lying to you. Either way,
Or you just love
either
the
way.
Sixers. Yeah.
Like if I told you no, like talent wise, he should be the second best player in the East. Like he should be. It should be Giannis, Embiid, Tatum, according to talent, in my opinion. And if not, he
Yeah,
should be the. If not, he should be better than Giannis. You know,
sure, sure.
but going into the season, I'm pretty sure I had Embiid ahead of Tatum.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, you think you could? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just tough with all these up and coming teams. I mean, with like the Magic where they're at, with the Cavs being where they are for the next few years, with the
I think Jared
Celtics being
McCain
right
is like
there.
that good. I like really think Jared McCain's like that good. Like
So then
I'm,
it's
I like I don't want to like overreact, but there is like I don't know. I think he's got a chance to be like one of these like deathly shooters. Just an absolute, and it's like gonna be a new gen a little bit. But yeah, I don't like. I hate to put this example on him, but he really reminds me of like year one Curry. Like really reminds me of year one Curry.
damn, bro. Spitting
And
hot takes right
I
now.
know I know it's like an absolute. I've gone back and watched so much Jared McCain because of it. Like yeah, he like really reminds me of like year one Curry. That's why I'm overrating this whole situation. Because
Bro.
the thing is, if you don't think Jared McCain's that good, and if you told me that, I would tell you, yeah, well, Embiid's never getting out of the second round unless it's with a new team.
Yeah, that's valid. Yo, can I tell you something?
What's up?
I was watching so much Jared McCain that my friends had to hold an intervention because I was on TikTok too much. It was a
Wrong,
problem.
wrong. I was on Shot Creator. R.I.P.
Yeah, RIP. Beta version. Come back. Um,
um, but can I give you some Jared McCain stats while we're here? By the way,
yeah,
in case y'all forgot, by the way. So if you guys don't remember, um, he he got hurt on December 13th. He had his first game above 20 minutes on November 8th. So he only had a month of basketball. Before that, he had about 10 games of getting screwed over in terms of playing time.
yeah.
Regardless, Jared McCain, while he was healthy this season, 39% from three on six threes a game, only averaged 25 minutes. So he's chucking up threes,
Wow.
16 points a game. And I mean, I thought he was solid defensively. He's not like great, obviously, but he's not fouling a ton. He's not turning the ball over a ton. According to defensive box plus minus, which is a stat that I really like, his offensive box plus minus is 2.0, which is like a very good, as a rookie, is like a very, very good starter in the NBA. That's kind of the statistical breakdown of it. Um, so yeah,
Wow. That's cumulative, the box plus minus, or is that per game?
box plus minus is not a cumulative stat.
Oh, okay. He's off offensively. Plus, wow.
Yeah, it's a per 100 possessions. Like you're basically adding offensively, you are adding 2 points per 100 possessions. That's kind of the thought. Derek White, if I remember correctly, has a box plus minus, offensive box plus minus of like two. So,
Wow.
um, and I'll use that stat later and give some more equivalencies, but that'll be more with the defensive box plus minus. That's, I think, the thing is offensive stats, like, I think the eye test always tells you a little bit more on offense, but I think defensively,
Mhm.
some of these stats can be really helpful in terms of like parsing through. It's like, oh, this guy is actually making up for a lot on defense versus other guys who might not be. So, anyways,
Right. Yeah. Damn. Shout out Jared McCain, the guy that might bring Embiid to not the promised land, but a better place in the second round.
yeah, yeah, if yeah, Maxi's really good too. I almost like it's like trade Paul George for parts. Or honestly, okay, maybe this is a hot take, but maybe next year they'll be kind of better because McCain will be back and Paul George will be more resigned to be a vet. Because I think Paul George kind of wants to be a vet. Like I don't no flame, but he's averaging like 14 points, bro. It's like
It's crazy.
I think he kind of just wants to be like clearly he's not I don't know, he's not Paul George.
Yeah. That's wild.
What a fall from
Yeah.
grace.
I know, man. Hopefully he
Um
gets it back. We'll
yeah.
see.
I mean, to be fair, I mean he's shooting a lot more now. Is he shooting better? Not really, but
yeah. Um, damn. Shout out Embiid.
can I
We'll
ask you a
see if
question? Is this like one of the most more depressing evolutions of a career?
I mean Tracy McGrady comes to mind, Grant Hill comes to mind. Um, I mean Derrick Rose, but I feel like there was a very stark, like bang
It's like
situation
yeah, yeah.
where I mean, he had a few moments afterwards, right, where he had his, series against the Cavs, and he hits that game-winning three, and he has the 50-point game in Minnesota, but he was never the same. Oh, that's a good question. Fall from grace in like our relative era.
Yeah, like McGrady is a good example. There's no MVP either.
Yeah. Right from the highest of the high, kind of. Hmm. I mean, this is a different one, but like, I mean, I don't. I'm not even gonna go here. So never mind. I
Is
was gonna. I was
Iverson a bad example a little bit?
maybe
He
he
doesn't fall that fast. No,
doesn't fall
he doesn't
fast.
fall fast. He just gets old. Like it's
I was
fine.
gonna say injury wise, D Wade kind of fell.
Dude, I don't think that's that bad of a take. He kind of went from
Like
like pretty good all-star, but the thing is like yeah.
he went from like LeBron joining the Heat, and he was like a top five player in the NBA
So
to
LeBron's
LeBron
gotta
leaving the Heat,
go to get
and
some help.
and
Yeah.
yeah, for real. So that might be a fall.
Okay, I'm with that. I'm kind of with that. Okay. Yeah. That's kind of
But
tough. That's kind of McGrady and Bros breath is pretty tough.
yeah, yeah, and it's all. I mean, and those are injury related, and Embiid has suffered from injury stuff, but there also feels like when he's healthy, he's missed it on a few occasions.
Can I give my honest take? Like he should not play basketball for 3 months and just like get totally healthy because like he's just been playing basketball. He played in Team USA, right? Which is so stupid.
Right.
Um, I think what happens they rush him back from injury like every
Yeah.
time. I think he gets hurt, he rushes back, they rush him back, and he
Yeah.
gets hurt again. And then it's like
Yeah.
now he has now he has one injury that's almost healed, and yeah, there's another one that just started. Like that's kind of what it feels like. It's like and then he flops like I think the flopping has to do with the injury stuff. Like he doesn't want to get hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. He
Like
wants
if
to
he was
look good.
confident his body could take a hit, if he had 3 months off, had a full training camp, took some hits in training camp, felt good,
Mhm.
is he gonna is he gonna be that contact adverse once he gets into the season?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Although he's kind of been at times in his career, but so good.
He should not have played in the Olympics.
Just irresponsible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Kawhi didn't play the Olympics, he's not even that good. So like
That's wild. That's so
nah,
true.
I'm tweaking. That's an all NBA player. But yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, but
Uh
yeah, that's all I got
anything
on
else?
Embiid. No, that's all for now. See if he comes back.